The Sci-Fi Film Podcast. Hello and welcome to the podcast. I am Andy Walker, and he's my son Scott.
Hello there.
Walker. Hello, Scott. How are you? How are you?
I feel rough. I'm all right.
Rough.
Yeah.
Rough. Let the dogs out. Rough. Right, we are doing our Sci-Fi film reviewing 3 short science fiction films.
Yes.
As is our wont. We're going to start off the very first one with a film called Migrants.
Yeah.
It's from 2020. This is by Oat Studios, who at the moment have a series-y thing on Netflix, which is quite good. The production design, art and direction was done by Paul Chadison, written by Stéphane Beauverger, sound and music Anton Barbery, matte painting Florent Lebrun, and voice, which is the only cast sort of thing you get, is Jacob Philippe, or Philippe, maybe. I don't know. Synopsis is: humanity started the process of terraforming Mars many years ago. We follow the thoughts and prayers of one of the cleaners who works on this titanic project. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. So, I don't know. I thought this was very good. I think the problem I have with it, the effects are excellent. The design, the music works really well with it. The artwork is brilliant. It's got an excellent look. My problem with it is that the voiceover, which is quite good, but it gets a bit lost because I was so intent on watching everything that was going on because it was so well done.
Yeah.
I kind of lost what he was talking about. I wasn't listening closely enough to what he was saying because it kind of got a little bit monotonous after a while.
Yeah. I did like the monologue that he done. It was like, it explains quite a bit, but yeah, I get what you mean. It does sort of get lost within detail of it. You get a lot more, you're so engulfed in what's on the screen, you miss what's being said.
Yeah. I was so intent on it because it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
And the looks and the effects are brilliant. And you kind of like get a bit lost going, wow, look at that. That's so well done. But I mean, it wasn't a bad film. I think it was incredibly well made. I think maybe the voiceover needed a bit more drama to it, maybe, to keep you caught up in what he was saying.
Or even just, I don't know, because it was all very soft. The music was quite soft, and the sound effects and all that. I think if the voice had been at normal, I don't know, sort of normal levels, it was a bit higher than the music, it probably would have been a bit better because it would have stood out a bit more. Where it was the same sort of tone and softness as the music, it fades in and loses itself a bit.
Yeah, no, I agree. Hang on a minute. Pete, did you do something?
No, I was just thinking, mate.
Oh, okay. No. So there you go. Yeah, no, I agree. It's a pity because it is such a good film. It's so well made and so and Oak Studio stuff is really good.
Yeah,
They do it really well, and it's a pity that it kind of got a little bit lost. But having said that, I mean, as you say, the content of the monologue is good. It works really well. It explains a lot of what's going on, and the things that would go through the sort of mind of somebody doing that sort of job.
yeah, and the thing is, it shows as well with the whole story behind it is the fact that a lot of sci-fi stuff and sort of space exploration stuff that's shown and talked about. It's always about the sort of the top sort of hierarchy of the crew, if you go on. Right?
Yeah,
And it shows this just shows that it's not just that; it's everyone that's there has these thoughts and wonders what's going to happen and has these feelings, and it's a really good way of showing it.
yeah. No, I agree. It is a very good film. Um, it's a great film to watch just because of the way it looks. It's a nice way to spend a little bit of time,
Yeah,
and it's been put together so well. It's definitely worth having a look at. Right. The second film is called, I think it's called Azarkant. It sounds about right.
yeah,
It is on the Dust channel. So it says 2019, but as we know with Dust, some of their stuff is older than it is than they say it is because that's when they put it on. So you can't be sure. I haven't got a lot of detail about this apart from the fact that it's a film by Andrei Klimov. Because as with a lot of films on Dust, when it comes to the end of the film, they get stuff coming up over the screen and everything shrinks down and goes at about 3 times the speed, so you can't really see what it says. But the synopsis says, in the future, a team of astronauts are sent on a 10-year journey to a distant planet to find new life. On their way, they encounter a large abandoned spaceship that is drifting in the orbit of a mysterious planet. They board the ship with anticipation of the great discoveries to uncover inside. However, they do not know what terrible secret this spacecraft keeps, a nightmarish threat which is far bigger and scarier than anything they could have imagined. Dun, dun, dun. So what do you think?
See, I like this. It was good, good work with the CGI again. I like the effects on it. I don't know. There were bits of it though that just seemed a bit jolty for me. Like the fight scene that they have in it seemed almost like it had gone frame by frame, and it wasn't as smooth as some of the other bits were.
Yeah,
but I liked it again. The soft music in it, the sound effects weren't like in your face. Not a lot. There's just again another one. There's not a lot of speech in it. It's really only the computer voice that speaks in it. It have a bit of a sort of Lost in Space sort of Halo feel for me.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
But I did really like it actually. It seemed like it could be used for like the start of a longer film or like sort of a cutscene from a game or something like that. But it worked very well.
Yeah, no, I agree.
The way they built up the suspense in it and the way that they executed it was very well done.
Yeah, no, I mean the effects were really good. The CGI work and that was really great. Had a good look to it. The background designs and that were really well done. And yeah, like you say, building up the suspense, the atmosphere was built up really well. It worked really well with the use of the music and also the very slow sort of like panning techniques and things like that. And you got a good bit of action in it. It was nice to see a good bit of, like as you say, it does remind you a bit of one of those games like Halo and that sort of thing. Even the design of the suits and that sort of thing is very similar to that kind of thing. But I really like the ending of it. I think it
Yeah,
works really well, and it kind of it just works as a good little action film. And I really like this film. I think it's a really good film.
see, I do as well. It's like it's 8.5 minutes long.
Yeah,
The thing is that watching it because it drew me in so much, and I was focused on it so much. It felt like such a longer film,
yeah,
but not in a bad way. It felt like there was so much that you had to take in
yeah.
that it doesn't feel like it was actually 8 minutes. It felt like it was ages because there was so much detail and everything.
It is that it's that building up of the suspense, that sort of thing. It makes it seem like it's a longer film. But
Yeah,
as you say, not in a bad way. It makes it's like you've watched a good solid film, even though it's under 10 minutes. Which I think is for a film that's as short as it is, it's incredible. To be honest, and there's no real dialogue in it, and but it doesn't need it. It doesn't need to be driven by that because it's driven by the action and the atmosphere and that sort of thing. So
yeah,
it just works really, really well.
it does. And it is one that I actually think that we've said before that with their dialogue that's in it sometimes it's too much or not enough. But this, you think if it was either way, if there was they took it out or put more in, it would have taken away from the film completely. I think it's
Absolutely.
just right because obviously it's meant to be the computer voice, and because all the humans, the crew, no longer there, and
Yeah.
it works so well because of the fact that it's
Well,
who did I say something?
no, no. No,
Yeah,
it does. No, I agree with you. It works really well, and it's kind of just right as it is.
yeah,
I think I know what you mean about the possibility of it being used at the beginning or beginning of something else, something like that. But I think it's kind of just about right. If it was any longer or if it went on anymore, I think it would lose something.
yeah.
So it works really, really well as it is. Now, yeah, that's a really good one. It needs to be checked out. And the third and last one is a film called Roy.
Yeah,
It's ROY, Roy. 2021 film written and directed by Joseph Fifelski. This is going to be good, this one. Produced by J.J. Schindler. The cast is Katrina Kovalchik, something like that, and Jonathan Sperling. Hey, I didn't do it too bad.
no, that was quite well done, Tom.
The synopsis. Roy is a sci-fi drama short film about a robot mechanic holed away in a rundown barn, living in a world of rustic antiques melded with futuristic sensibilities. He is a man forgotten by society and spends his days tinkering at projects. That is until someone opens the door into his shop. Da, da, da. There is more. There's more stuff after that, but to be honest, it goes on for about 3 hours and I couldn't be bothered. I quite like this film. I really think it's quite good. I think the effects are really well done. The acting is good. The story works well. And what I really like about it is if you don't read the synopsis, you don't actually realize that he is a robot until right at the end of the film.
No,
And it works so well that way. So after
yeah,
reading the synopsis, it kind of annoyed me a bit because it tells you.
yeah. See, I didn't read it this time. I read it afterwards, and I'm glad I did because of the fact is, like you said, it sort of gives it that sort of surprise um, factor,
Yeah,
adds to the story as well. Um, of it, when it's exposed at the end.
yeah, definitely. But it's a really nice little film. It's kind of I don't know what it is about it. It kind of reminds me of. It reminds me of a lot of things I remember seeing when I was a kid. It's sort of nice, kind of easygoing sort of TV film sort of thing,
Yeah.
and it is a nice little film. It's great. I love it.
Yes.
It's brilliant.
I'm the same. I really like this film. Actually. The camera work on it and lighting work on it is so well done. It's so natural lighting
Yeah,
and stuff that's in it. I love the work, the detail, both of the robotic sort of suits that they're wearing. It looks
yeah,
amazing. And the effects when there's meant to be like our eyes turn off,
yeah.
very well done.
Was
Now,
very good.
I say I watched the film and then was trying to figure out a bit more. So I've read through the synopsis and then read through some of the comments. And I was watching it and I thought to myself, there's got to be a meaning behind this film. There's got to be like some sort of message given that. And the actual line on the bottom of the synopsis it says Roy poses this question. It says, how do we face those transformed by violence and angry at the world?
Yeah,
I thought the thing is that it doesn't like give a straightforward answer. It doesn't say this is how to deal with it, but it's that sort of thing that a nice doing a nice thing for one person, even if it's just one thing, can change their whole look throughout the day.
absolutely.
And I think that this film, as much as it goes to be extreme by how he does it, but it's the same. It's that sort of you can see the surprise on her face that someone's done something nice for her,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is, I
especially
mean,
after the way she was to him. That's
yeah. I mean, this is the point. The thing is, it kind of works really well. The story works as a great little kind of. I don't know. I don't like message. That's not necessarily the right word, but it's a great little thing. To sort of like think about the fact that, as you say, like the things that you do affect the people around you, and
yeah,
if you do something nice, then it makes that person feel good and could possibly have a big impact on their day
yeah.
or their life or whatever.
There's the whole thing of the fact that even just a smile can change someone's day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this whole thing of like I said, it's a bit of an extreme way the way he goes about it, but the fact that can now possibly change the way that she feels about the way she's been treated or the way the fact or anything, and then how she then deals with the next person she meets.
Yeah, no, it's
And
true.
it's a good thing. It's a good thing to actually think about. Obviously, like we said, not the whole hidden meaning thing, but or a message or whatever, but sort of a way to look at things in life is the fact that if you look at that one thing, sort of pay it forward, sort of thing.
Yeah,
You do that one thing, that then person's to do something good for someone else, and it's just
yeah,
a
well,
way of
see,
enjoying it.
it can be the difference between somebody going out and getting angry with the next person they come across, or and possibly getting a problem being caused, or that person going out with a happier outlook on life and sort of like something happens and they go, oh well,
Yeah,
and it doesn't cause a problem. These things are quite. They can be quite important, even
yeah.
small things like that.
Well, that's the
Uh,
thing. It's the fact that, like I said, it's the small things in life that make the big difference.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
this film shows that so much. It's the fact that it's like she even says it in the film. She was horrible towards him. She was violent. She um started having a go, but yet he still took that time to be the nice person and help her. And
Yeah,
she even says why. And it doesn't explain it, doesn't say why, but it's the fact that it's sort of that thing is the fact that you've got the way to look at it is that if you see someone that's angry at something, don't start getting angry back with them. There might be a reason why. Just to sort
yeah,
of take that bit of time. And I think this
absolutely.
film does it really well with explaining that sort of feeling.
Yeah, I agree. It's a really good film. It's a really nice kind of film to watch. So we've got three good sci-fi films.
Yes,
Hey,
makes a change.
never thought it'd happen. Not the way things have been going recently.
No.
So, yes, go and check them out on YouTube. We have Migrants and Azarkant and Roy. So, yes, go and check them out. The links will be with the podcast as always. Next week, we will be doing horror films, and we will be doing one that we have been asked to review, which is called The Cult Leader by Nate Thompson. We did one of his a little while ago, which was called Cult Affairs, if anyone remembers. And so we will be reviewing that and 2 other films. And we are doing the run up towards Crimbus. Crimbus. What? What's now?
Bad as the kids.
Huh?
They're as bad as the kids.
No, I'm worse. So yes, and we will have, of course, Santa Conquers the Martians and Mother Krampus.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know which bit I'm looking forward to for Christmas. Watching them 2 films or having the kids here over Christmas.
I think the kids over Christmas will probably be better.
I'm hoping so.
I'm not being judgmental here, but given the fact that I've had a quick look through, and out of the entire cast of Santa Claus versus Conquers the Martians, there's only one of them that I know of that went on to do anything else.
Oh. Okay.
And out of all the people who were in Mother Krampus, 90% of them seem to have been in the same films made by the same people, which are all low-budget horror films.
Yeah, but sometimes if you've seen low-budget horror films are the better ones. I did say sometimes.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. So yes, we will be back next week with some horror films. During the meanwhile, what? Yeah, and yeah, and I've got sweeties and sweeties and coffee, and everything. I love it.
I've got a glass of orange juice.
And yes, and check out anybody out there. Check out Prisoners of the Lost Universe, which I managed to catch early hours of the morning on London Live, and is really worth staring at for about 2 hours, going, "What the what's going on here?" And it's got John Saxon in it. It's got John Saxon in it. I mean, the man is a legend.
I just love the fact you said not even worth watching, just worth staring at.
Oh, you see, I turned it on because I thought I was sure that on the TV guide it said that it had on Night of the Living Dead, and I thought, well, I've only missed 5 minutes of it. I'll watch that. I haven't seen that for a long time, so I put it on and I sat there and started watching. I thought, this isn't Night of the Living Dead, and then some strange things started happening, and I just sat there going, what the hell is this? And I watched the whole of the rest of the film because I didn't want to not find out what it was, because it was that bizarre. And it came to the end and it said it was Prisoners of the Lost Universe. And I thought, I've never heard of it. So I had to do a quick googly.
I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I'm going to have to find it.
Oh, it is incredibly incroyable. It is quite incredible to watch. It's I'm still not quite totally sure I understood what was going on, to be honest, or why. And it's just, you know, these things that they made in the sort of 80s that where really strange things happen to very ordinary people. And instead of going, my God, what the hell's going on? This is so bizarre. They just kind of accept it and get involved in what's going on.
Yeah.
It's like that. And you kind of think, well, why are you not freaking out? Why are you not looking at these people going, what the hell is this?
Yeah. One of them films with it's a film, like every film though, is based around the whole universe where no one ever watched the film.
Yeah, but this is even worse. This is based around a universe where nobody has realized that the completely bizarre things, like groups of strange things with glowing eyes that shoot lasers at you in the middle of a sort of I don't know, in the middle of a mountainside area, is not the normal thing that happens to ordinary everyday people.
Maybe it doesn't. Maybe we're just missing out.
Maybe it's true. Maybe it's us that's.
Maybe it's us that's the weirdos.
Yeah. No, that can't be true. Anyway.
But I've been called a lot worse.
Oh, I know. Same here, mate.
Oh.
As my old mum used to say, you can call me whatever you like, just don't call me late for dinner.
The most sensible thing man ever said.
Probably, yeah. Right. So all of those people out there in the big wide world of Podley Castley land and beyond, in the wild universes they're in, we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
The Sci-Horror Film Podcast.